Does everyone annoy you lately? Do you catch yourself judging strangers, coworkers, baristas, basically anyone with a pulse? All right, I have a flip for you. If we're all going to make snap judgments anyway, let's train ourselves to make them positive and then say that good out loud. Welcome to Practice Your Positive Daily. I am your host, Sass Schaefer, founder of Team Positive, speaker, and you are coach for energy, action, and building a life you love with real momentum. And listen, breaking some of those bad habits because we all have them. Around here, positivity is a muscle, not a mood. We practice it daily so that we can handle whatever life throws at us. We use it so we don't lose it. All right, personal story time. Listen, this is another one of those positivity lessons that I did not learn from a book. I learned it through life, and I would love to share it with you, even though it's something that I actually hold a little bit of shame toward and something that's difficult for me to talk about. And I feel like that is always the key to talk about the thing that you don't want to talk about. So that's what we're talking about today. I used to be a gossip, period. I'll just say it out loud. It started with typically talking about the guy I was dating. I would date a guy who had bad behavior. Then I would just run my mouth to everybody I met and tell them all the things that he was doing wrong. But, when I trained myself, and that's what it was, training myself, practicing, looking for what was wrong with him, what he should change, what everyone should change, it became a habit. I looked at everybody with that same critical, snarky eye. The way that she talks, the way that he dresses, why they're late again. That person would be better if they did this, if my parents only did that, if she should do this. And I would leave every conversation with like a spicy little high, but then feel gross. And I was miserable. Like nobody took my advice, whether I shared it out loud or not. And that the mood scan for what's wrong all the time, even with people I loved, it left me just miserable and feeling lonely. And I am not good at just quitting things. I need to train myself or flip them, supplant them with something different. So a few years ago, it's quite a few now, I made this weird little training plan. I made it like a game. Every time I met someone, instead of thinking, why do they wear their hair like that? Those are weird shoes, or whatever I used to think. Every time I met someone, whether it was a friend or a cashier or a stranger, I forced myself to spot one sincere thing I appreciated about them. Not like, oh, they're tall or, oh, they have nice eyes, but something chosen, something I could tell that they had put some effort into, whether it was their style or their presence or their kindness or their humor or just the way they approach things. And then after I trained my brain to like spot that thing right away, the next thing I did was I started saying it out loud. I would just say the thing. And it was a little awkward at first, but my brain started rewiring itself to actually just look for the good automatically in other people. And then I would share it, and no big surprise, people opened up. Rooms felt softer. I felt lighter. And I didn't have any of that icky, hangover, yucky feeling I used to feel when I gossiped about people. So that is what we're talking about today, and today's plan for positivity. And I can break this down in 3 easy to understand snippets. The first one is we got to address why gossip feels good. It does feel good, right? It feels good, but it costs you. So when I gossip or when I say, "Ooh, can you believe she's late again?" or "Ooh, I heard she's getting a divorce," or whatever, it gives me this hit of connection, right? Ooh, we're on the same side. We're talking about somebody. But it actually erodes trust. If I talk about them with you, you'll worry I talk about you the same way when I'm with them. Suddenly, it's this like game where nobody feels safe. And I don't want that in my relationships. And I don't want that for myself, frankly. And then as it feels good, it like rehearses it, right? Like you do it over again. And so if I practice critiquing and criticizing everyone, I get really good at that. But if I practice these like little micro compliments, I'll suddenly see everyone's strengths everywhere. And so it's this idea again is we are what we practice. And the longer I gossip and run my mouth about other people, the less I'm focusing on myself. And you guys know in the past few weeks, we have talked a lot about focusing on yourself because that's where happy lives. All right, so that is the first part. Gossip feels good, but it erodes trust and it costs you too much. So if you don't know if what you're doing really feels gossipy or yucky, or should continue practicing it, think about this. After a chat with someone, do you feel energized or do you feel maybe like a little tighter, a little meaner? That is your clue. Practice it for yourself and see how you feel. Number two, it's the flip. And so, whatever we train our attention to spot, we're going to do that more often. So we're going to spot, frame, and then speak. Spot the good thing first. Spot something that the person chose. They put that away. They handed this to me. They have cool color choices. They're very calm, whatever it is. Spot those little things, train your brain, and then frame it. Find a way to frame it and share it with that person. I love how it stood out that I couldn't help but notice that you bring this to the room. Make yourself some short little frames that are easy to follow so that when you want to share it, speak it, that's the last part of this, speak it, just say it out loud right away. It doesn't have to be a real big deal. You're in line at the coffee shop and someone says something nice to you. Oh boy, waiting in line with you makes it feel better. Whatever. In a meeting, sharing it with a coworker, boy, you're really good at making these things simplified, or boy, you're really good at bringing everyone's points together. You know, you see a stranger, they're wearing something bright and festive. Boy, those colors really make me smile. Spot it, frame it as something positive, and then get it out, right? Share that good stuff. We talk so much about not keeping the positivity to ourselves and sharing it. And listen, this doesn't have to be flattery. Don't make something up. If it takes you some time to spot the good, it takes you some time to spot the good. But don't just make things up. Try not to be, too heavy-handed with this. Don't awkward anybody out or make anyone feel creepy. Just keep it light. And then the third point is I have some other just guardrails in my life that help me to keep myself from talking about other people. One is I try to not talk about them, I talk to them, right? So we cut that triangle in half. If I'm tempted to complain to this person about that person, it means that I need to say first directly to the person I'm talking to, right? It's a line, not a triangle. And then another part is I try to just assume good intent, give them a generous story. Someone shows up and they're negative. Hey, I know they're going through a lot. Maybe they're new. Maybe they're nervous. Maybe they're having a bad day. Just that little bit of softness. Or I like to frame it as I know when I'm like that, it's because I show up, it's because of this or because of that. Give them that grace because it's the same grace we all want for ourselves. But we need to start it by extending it to others. And then last is that I have some exit plans. If I'm in a conversation and it starts getting kind of gossipy or we end up talking about someone, then I try to redirect it with a sincere positive about that person. Oh, maybe with a work thing like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, but she's learning fast, right? Things are getting better. Or, boy, I remember when I was new, I really did X, Y, and Z, right? Again, like having a pivot or an exit strategy built in because, hey, it happens, right? These things come up. And so having that exit strategy helps. Oh, that was a good one. All right, positive of the day. Let's take all this that we talked about and just make it one neat little package for you. A positive of the day, a 24-hour compliment challenge. In the next 24 hours, I want you to give 3 sincere, specific compliments out loud in the next 24 hours. You can give one to a friend, a coworker, one to maybe somebody that you meet out in the community, and then one to a family member or somebody you share your house with. So positive of the day, 3 sincere compliments in the next 24 hours given out loud, and just watch how your world softens and how you feel more positive by sharing that positivity with others. All right, judging is human. It's going to happen, but choosing what to judge, that's a skill that we can train and practice for. So train your attention to spot the good, frame it honestly, and then say it out loud. You will change rooms and you will change yourself. If this landed and you want more of this good stuff in person, I run something called The Game in St. Pete in October. That's October 17th in St. Pete. And hey, I do this for teams all around the country, all around the region, bringing together gamified positivity. So it's personal development, but it just feels like fun. All right, that's it for today. Mwah! I love you. Stay in the game. Stay focused on yourself. Blah. And I will see you at practice. Bye, everyone. Hey, it's Sass. Before you go away, do me a solid. Hit all those buttons. Subscribe, download, share, and talk to me in the comments. All right, stay in the game and keep practicing your positive. Drink some water, you look thirsty. Did you eat a vegetable today? Did you eat a vegetable yesterday? How about going to the gym? You go to the gym today? Yoga later? Ooh, a little bedtime yoga later?